Greetings, gamers. Welcome to part 2 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 10, Radiant Dawn. You did it! Thank you so much. We owe you our lives. You there, what are you doing? Stop immediately. Well. Look who decided to show up. The Begnion soldiers. They certainly took their time, didn't they? We mustn't be caught. Micaiah, Edward, make a break for it. Run. I'm sorry. We have to leave. I know. Thank you again for all you've done. Now, go. Run. Hey, lady. My name's Nico. When I grow up, I want to be just like you guys. Come back sometime. Hold it. Stop right there. Who are you bellowing at, soldier? General Jarod. When did you arrive? Answer my question, maggot. I want to know who you were yelling at, and why you did nothing but yell at them. Sorry, sir. We suspect they were from the Dawn Brigade, a band of thieves that targets goods levied from the town. People say they give what they've stolen back to the villagers and strut around acting like heroes. They're said to have a witch among them, a girl called the Silver-Haired Maiden. They say she can heal wounds instantly by laying her hands on any injury. Townspeople treat her like a savior. And what have you been doing about this band of fools? Sir, a few days ago we stormed their hideout and found a girl much like the Silver-Haired Maiden. We ran the dogs from their den, but they were cunning and cautious, and we lost them. I see. I'm beginning to understand. How do you mean, sir? I'm beginning to understand exactly how incompetent you all are. Make the villagers talk. I want to know who these bandits are and where they're hiding. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. I don't care who they are. The more kick they have in them, the more fun for us, don't you think, sir? Precisely. Overseeing this dusty old town is wearing thin. A little fresh game is just what I need. And we get 40 clear bonus and 20 turn bonus, so 60 altogether. Yes, it is okay to save.
Tellius, the year 648, early summer. The northeastern nation of Dain lost a bloody war with neighboring Crimea 3 years ago. Crimea, however, abdicated its right to rule Dain and passed sovereignty of its former enemy to the powerful Begnion Empire. Dain's future is now subject to the whims of the Empire. Begnion's occupation forces have gathered all Dain men of fighting age and put them to work in labor camps. Their work is brutal and void of purpose, designed to break both body and spirit. The remaining population faces poverty and starvation as the fields lie fallow. A band of young heroes has escaped the Begnion army to form a group called the Dawn Brigade. Fighting for a free Dain, they alone have stood against Begnion's forces. They alone have shouldered the hopes of their nation. Among the company is a young girl named Micaiah, who is said to possess mystical powers. The people of Dain have come to know her as the Silver-Haired Maiden. They have come to think of her as the savior for whom they had been waiting. Begnion's forces have tried time and again to capture and silence the Dawn Brigade. However, Micaiah's ability to sense impending danger has thus far allowed the Dawn Brigade to evade the Empire's grasp.
Very convenient. Chapter 1, Maiden of Miracles. Dawn Brigade Camp.
How should we explain yesterday to Soth and Nolan?
It's like you said, we didn't have a choice. We have to save Nico and the townsfolk. But I admit, getting spotted by those Begnion soldiers was unfortunate. Still, I'd do it all over again. The worst part is they know we're near. They could find this hideout as easily as they found our last one. I just don't get it. This is our country. Why do we have to live in hiding like prisoners in our own land? Come on, you know why? We lost the war, and Crimea won. It's not our country anymore. End of story. Except that Crimea walked away after winning, leaving those heartless Begnion dogs to rule our country for the last 3 years. The occupying soldiers march around like they own the place, doing whatever they want, and no one dares to stop them. To be fair, Crimea didn't have the resources to rule another country.
Soth, and Nolan too. Welcome back. I'm glad you made it in one piece.
And last, the Dawn Brigade is all present. But you are unusually late. Were you late? I think our fame's catching up with us. Begnion's patrols are everywhere. It took us a while to avoid them. I've never seen so much Begnion activity in this area before. Is there something we should know?
Well, actually the truth is...
Ah, that's what did it. You had a run-in with the bandits.
And Begnion soldiers spotted us as we made our escape. I'm sorry, we only wanted to help. We were careless.
We'll worry about that later. More importantly, Micaiah, were you seen healing anyone with sacrifice?
I'm afraid so.
You can't allow anyone to know what you can do. Healing without any tomes or staves is a rare gift, almost unheard of. If anyone saw you doing it, you'd be given away immediately, and I don't know if I could keep you safe.
I know, Soth.
I know you know, but you keep doing it. This place isn't safe anymore. We should leave at once. Correct. Ah, but it would have been nice to eat just one meal in peace. An alley in Navasa. This way's no good either. Begnion soldiers have every alleyway blocked. A kitten couldn't sneak past them. It looks like this really is the least guarded path, and even so, it's swarming with soldiers.
There are more coming up behind us. We'll be trapped if we don't move quickly.
We can't wait for Soth. The stairs by the church lead to the marketplace. We can break through there. I'll go first and secure the way. Micaiah and Leonardo cover my back. Remember to keep your distance from the enemy. Team up and bring them down one by one.
We'll be careful.
Leave it to us. Edward, you bring up the rear. Your skills have improved, but you're still new to fighting. Don't rush the enemy. Just focus on surviving their attacks, got it? Yeah, I got it. And of course, we have a new character. I would love nothing more than to speak about Nolan, a fighter, and the first you obtain in this game. With 60% HP growth, 45% strength, 20% magic, 70% skill, 60% speed, 60% luck, 35% defense, and 40% resistance, he's actually quite an interesting character. Most of the characters in this game, not all, of course, I'm caveating this with not all because people need that kind of disclaimer for some reason, but most characters in this game have a pretty good resistance growth, and some even have better resistance growth than defense. And that has a lot to do with the end game of this game, that you are facing a lot of magically oriented enemies. I like that has been taken in mind, but again, like I said before, I'm not a real big fan of the whole idea of growths being super inflated, just because this game has inflated enemy scaling. Now, Nolan here comes with a C rank in axes, the very first unit in this game who has better than a D rank. And he also comes with Nihil, or Nihil. I always pronounce that incorrectly, but it is Nihil, because of the word nihilistic. Cancels enemy combat-related skills. It's actually a
high capacity skill. I believe it takes up 20, either 20 or 15, one of the two, in Radiant Dawn. In Path of Radiance, it is almost an entirely useless skill, but in Radiant Dawn, it is very necessary. End game, mostly. Mostly that's why it's useful. Nolan isn't a bad candidate for such, especially if you give him certain weapons for the end game and he's fully trained and whatnot. But for the most part, Nihil is not something that I would necessarily keep on him. Since we can take it off and put it on somebody else, that's a pretty great boon. With that being said, however, I am going to move Leonardo to get this first area. This first house visit. You're there. You must be... Aha, you needn't say a word. I see the goodwill in your eyes. Take this and go, quickly. You've done so much for day and sport. It's time we did something in return. And we get a vulnerary. So, herbs in this game heal 10 HP when consumed and have 10 uses. Wow, it's almost like vulneraries in Path of Radiance were underpowered and needed a bit of a buff. Well, they got it. Because vulneraries in this game have 8 uses and heal 20 HP when consumed. Oh my word. And there's even better. There's even better healing items than vulneraries. 2, in fact, from what I recall. Which is pretty darn awesome. So my strategy with this chapter is to move up both of these characters. Alright, Edward. Yeah, you're gonna go here. Nolan, you're going to go here. And you're going to shove Edward this way.
Captain Isaiah, just as you said, a group that appears to be the Dawn Brigade is storming the alley.
How generous of them. I'll wipe them out and advertise my exploits to our commanders back home. So, the reason why I put Edward right there is just so that Nolan doesn't get attacked by too many units. But I also shoved him because the unit in front of that door that Nolan is next to has a javelin. So if anybody is out of his 1 range, he's going to attack at 2 range. And, why take the unnecessary damage, right? Alright, so this is a bit of a mess. Of course, we're going to take out this unit with Edward. I'm very glad he did not get hit, but to avoid an 80, that's almost 90% hit in false hit. That's a pretty good level up. Always want strength on Edward. Always need it on Edward, that's to be certain. Alright, so this guy's doing 15, this guy's doing 15, so they're each doing 6 apiece. What we can do, finish you off. Good job, Micaiah, as Soph would say. Alright, and we can finish you off. And even if Nolan is attacked by both the units who could reach him, he will not be KO'd. Which is very important. Leonardo has to catch up. Alright, so the animations in this game I do actually far and away love comparatively to Path of Radiance. I think the Path of Radiance animations are a bit dated. They still look good for the most part, but in comparison to this game, just not as good. Alright, Leonardo getting some experience points. Micaiah, I'm pretty sure this bow guy, yeah, he can reach right there, so we're not going to put Edward necessarily right there. We're going to use an herb. Micaiah can attack you right here. And then we are going to visit the church.
Those beasts, they do whatever they want in our country. They've even sending our clergy to their awful camps. But I'm helpless. I don't have your strength or courage. This axe, you should have it.
A hand axe for Nolan. Perfect. Very nice. One can hope that that axe unit does not move. And he did not. That's good. How much damage shall you do? 18. So he's going to do 9 damage to good old Nolan. Does he double, though? 15, so that's 7 speed. 7 speed. Oh, I didn't even have to do the addition. AS is shown on this game. Oh, yeah. That's funny. We can finish that archer off with Leonardo. And then just a little bit of sacrifice. 9 damage. I think we're going to let this guy attack us. Very nice. Definitely have to heal up Nolan this turn. Alright, Leonardo taking out the trash and getting a level up. This is his first. Level 5 archer. Yeah, that's pretty much in Leonardo level up, that's for sure. Alright, so Edward, go ahead and strike this man down. And then I'm going to put Nolan in front, just in case. Alright. So, strike the boss.
What fast little mice you are. How long do you plan on scurrying around in back alleys?
Long enough, just long enough. Alright. We are attacking twice there. Let's use an herb. I do believe this guy has a hand axe. Yeah. Poor old Micaiah. One shot. Incredible, in fact. What we can do, pretty much the only thing we can do, I can move Nolan up and stay right there. All right. 13 damage, but is he gonna hit? Yes. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Dang it. I was doing so well, too. 42 hit. Are you kidding me? That's actually pretty funny. Well, looks like I'm going to be redoing this chapter. I will see you all in just a moment. All right, and I am back. We are at a much better setup than before, hopefully. Step aside.
The girl we've been looking for. The lucky little escapee. Too bad for you, sweetie. Your luck ends today.
All right.
What fast little mice you are. How long do you plan on scurrying around in back alleys?
And of course, let's see, 7 AS, 10 AS, so he's not doubling. 16, all right. Perfect. I believe this boss moves on these two tiles, so... Oh, nice. Very nice level up. Okay, he didn't decide to move.
What? This can't be. I'm in my prime. Not so easily.
You might be in your prime. Prime defeat. Alright. Another level up for Edward. Nice. And a steel sword obtained. Now, I don't recall if this is the case. I don't believe you get any bonus experience points for escaping with units other than your main character. I'm going to test this out. No escape quotes. That's fantastic. I already knew that, but it's still funny to comment on.
Everybody, this way. They're running to the center of town. After them. Good work. I see the market. If we can blend into the crowd, they'll lose us and we'll be free and clear.
Hey, lady. Nico. They're after you again, aren't they? Are you and your friends all right?
Moldy onions. Where'd they go? Leave the soldiers to us. Go on now. Get yourselves to safety.
Quickly, don't dawdle. You must escape. You're our only hope. Thank you so much.
Wait. There they go. Catch them. What are you stopping for? Well, they...
You won't get past us. We stand by the Dawn Brigade. That's right. Got us protect the Dawn Brigade. Wait. Something terrible is about to happen.
What is it?
No, we have to go back.
What? You're letting this rebel stop you? Ready your bows. Nobody defies the will of Begnion. No. How could you shoot a child, you vicious savages?
Someone help him quickly, please. This child is dying.
Pay heed. This is what happens when you meddle in Begnion affairs of state. Remember it well. I didn't realize that the Begnion Empire's affairs of state included murdering children in the street. Don't point your fingers at us. We're just doing our job. If you're upset, blame it on the Dawn Brigade. They made this happen. Is the girl we're looking for. Call for reinforcements. Surround and arrest every last one of them. What's happening? What does she think she's doing? Hey, you, step away from that child. It's a miracle. We've seen a miracle today. That was sacrifice.
That girl, she must be the silver-haired maiden. Only she possesses sacrifice.
How do they know about Micaiah's skill list?
Stop right there. After them. We can't let them get away. We still stand by the Dawn Brigade. What is wrong with you people? Did you hear me? Clear a path or you'll end up like that kid. You sniveling idiots. Why are you just standing there? Give chase, now. Yes, sir, we would like to, sir, but the townsfolk are blocking our way. Oh, I see. The townspeople are blocking your way. You dullards. Clean out those dirty ears and listen to me. You are soldiers, and I am your commander. You will follow my orders promptly and without hesitation. Understand? You useless vermin. Now move. Unbelievable. If it's not one thing, it's another. Why am I always stuck leading the buffoons? Are you awake now? Thank goodness. Do you see? This is why I told you not to use sacrifice. We sure showed them in Navassa, huh? I guess we can't go back there. Not for a while, anyway.
I'm so fond of Navassa. It's where we all met. It feels like my only real home. We will return someday.
We will, Micaiah. I know you, and you have a way of getting what you want.
Because you're always there to help me to get it, Soth.
Yeah, I did not think so. You do not get any escape bonus experience points, though you do in Path of Radiance. Not too sure why this omission was made, but oh well. Chapter 2, The Dispossessed. Old Road. Just a quick half mark, and we'll be in Kiska. I'd like to stock up there, but Begnion will be on the lookout for us. Let's steer clear of towns for now, unless we want more trouble. Don't tell me. This means another night sleeping on the cold ground with nothing but bugs to keep us warm.
Oh, Edward, it's not that bad. The forest is so beautiful and serene. I'd almost rather be out here, right, Yune? Excuse me? Are you people heading to town by chance? Our abbot is ill. He needs medicine, but Begnion soldiers are hoarding our provisions in the manor house. The Dawn Brigade at your service. I'm sure we can help you and your abbot.
Lord Kiska's Manor.
Soth, do you know the layout of the manor?
I was here years ago. As I remember, there's a large armory tucked deep inside the building. And if I understand correctly, Begnion soldiers guard valuables they've stolen, from rare objects to necessary supplies, in that armory.
Then the medicine will be there too. Are you sure you don't mind? Of course not. Danger is part of our work. Leave everything to us.
Your abbot will have his medicine.
Oh, thank you so very much. Good luck.
Alright, so we do get a new character. It almost seemed like Laura was telling us she's not coming, like, good luck, you're on your own kind of thing. But no, we get her. She is a priest and level 1. And a welcome addition, though she is literally made of tissue paper. Wet tissue paper, defensively. Laura, she has 45% HP, 20% strength, 70% magic, skill, and speed, 50% luck, 20% defense, and I'm reading that wrong. And 35% resistance. Yes. 70% magic, skill, and speed. Now that's what I'm talking about. Why couldn't Micaiah have some speed growth? She would be a much better unit if she had 70% speed growth. But I guess you do have to have some weaknesses on some characters, am I right? Now, priests in this game are entirely unviable in combat, even though something interestingly new has occurred in the franchise, and I do believe this is the one and only instance where this occurs in all of Fire Emblem, but staves can be used to attack. Now, interestingly enough, a staff that restores 10 HP plus the wielder's magic to a target unit. It also heals the wielder each turn. I believe the staff heals the wielder each turn by the amount it restores in HP of its own accord. So this would restore 10 HP to Laura. Don't quote me on that. But I also do believe that the weight of the staff, again, don't quote me on this, is the might of the staff. When somebody attacks, let's say Laura, physically at close range, it doesn't even matter if the unit attacks her physically, just attacks her at close range, she will attack and strike back with the staff. This is mostly useless, but there is actually a really good utility to this. And that is that you get an incredible amount of weapon experience points with staves attacking with them. An incredible amount. It's far and away more than you would ever get using any staff in the game for its intended purpose, which is humorous. This is going to come into effect later on with certain characters, and especially with the Legus. I'll explain why they also get to take advantage of something similar to this as well, and I'm going to be abusing it. But for the most part, Laura is just a healing bot. She is going to do her job well. 18 magic healing is less good than a vulnerary, but it is better than using my combative units to heal themselves. Now, she comes with a D rank in stays, which is not all that great, but promotion bonuses in this game concerning main weapons are pretty decent in weapon rank. They're not fantastic by any means, but they are pretty decent. And she has no personal skills to speak of. Also is an instance of, as you can see, there. I mean, we're not going over biorhythm, but just to see, I wanted to make a comparison. Just looking at the biorhythms, there's so many different ways that intelligent systems decided to work the biorhythms. There's even biorhythms that are shorter in wavelength than Leonardo's here. Very small peaks and valleys, which is very interesting. But every character who has a high positive also has a high negative. Like, for instance, Laura here. I believe at her maximum and her minimum, she gains a plus 10 hit and avoid, or a minus 10 hit and avoid. So it's almost like she has Tempest. There are characters who have peaks that high and valleys that low, but the frequency between the waves is much shorter. So it's basically like every other turn. You either are at your peak or at your valley. Very interesting. However, with all that being said, I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to bid my farewells. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe, depending on your platform. And while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.